homies, FingerSkateSelective here, and today we're checking out the brand new Hexbug Tony Hawk circuit board.
FingerSkateSelective. FingerSkateSelective.
Alright, first off, homies, I gotta shout out the homie 3Count for leaving a comment and asking me what I thought about these circuit boards because I had never heard of them. So he let me know about them first, and it was about 2 weeks ago. You can check the October 1st Ask Frankie video, but since then a few others have told me about them, but I believe the homie 3Count was first, so shout out to the homie 3Count for letting me know what's up with the circuit boards. Alright, so first off, let's go ahead and check out the packaging of the Hexbug Tony Hawk circuit board. The front is pretty cool. It has a window type area that lets you see the board graphics and all the included parts. It also has a pic of the Birdman himself. Wrong Birdman.
What? It's all the same.
As well as some stuff to get you hyped, like turbo boost and 2 channels available. Alright, so the front's cool. Let's check out the back. It has a blown up diagram showing how the board is assembled. Also a picture of all the different decks that are available. You can buy these separately. And last but not least, some pics of the circuit board ramps, which are available right over here. You have the quarter pipe, the roll in, and the stairs and rails ramp. And today we're just going to look at the main circuit board itself. But if you think a circuit board ramp review would be cool, let me know right down there in the comments. And if so,
which ramp?
Alright guys, so enough with the packaging. Let's see what this set comes with, shall we? Alright, I'm gonna pop it open right here with my gorilla arms. And there's the paper.
Nice.
Okay, so when you first pull out this plastic tray insert thingy, it's like, whoa!
What's missing?
But nothing's missing. That's
Just the way they made the packaging.
So it is what it is.
But it does look weird with a big empty space over here, but
no biggie.
So what did we get here?
well, we got 2 birdhouse graphic decks with front truck installed and the front wheels.
Super cool.
We've got the remote control part of the set, which looks awesome. Over here we have the circuit board power axle. This is the part that actually makes the board go. Makes the board go. Makes the board
So that's pretty cool.
The set also comes with an extra back truck, so you can set up the circuit board with the power axle, and then whichever board is not the circuit board, you can throw this extra back truck on and have a regular fingerboard, so that's very cool. Of course, they throw in a couple extra wheels to put on the back truck to complete the extra fingerboard. And right here, you have a very cool looking fingerboard tool with a standard socket on one end and a screwdriver on the other. And lastly, you have 2 little compartments up here. One has 2 white bushings and 2 wheel nuts, and the other has 8 mounting screws to mount your power axle and your back truck to whichever deck you choose.
So it is what it is.
So now we know what the set comes with. We need to decide which deck we want to set up as the circuit board and which one we want to set up as the regular fingerboard. And this part is not important at all because mounting the power axle to a deck is just as easy as mounting any regular truck. So you can swap them out at any time. But when you're first setting it up, you do need to choose. And me personally, I think I'm going to set up the circuit board on the bright red deck, and the darker one will be my regular fingerboard.
So if you guys are ready,
Let's set them up.
Alright, let me try and take these out of here. Some of these are really
stuck in there.
a little tool thingy, remote. Now the tricky part, all these tiny little screws. I gotta be careful here not to lose any. I don't want to...
Got me like a wrecking ball. I lost all my screws and now they're all gone.
Alright, maybe one day I'll get these out of here. I'm gonna dump them, which is probably a bad idea. Alright, so we got the tray empty. Let me round up all these screws that went flying everywhere.
Make sure I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. 7, 8. Alright.
Alright, and I said this red one is going to be my circuit board, so I'm going to put the power axle on that one. So let me grab a screw. I'm going to do one at a time here. Alright, I put a screw on the end of the screwdriver. Now I'm going to start it into one of these holes back here. There, I got it through. Now I'm going to hold this up here. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it where you guys can see it and do it at the same time, and I'm not very coordinated, so bear with me. Alright, I got the first screw started, so I'm going to grab another one, put it on the screwdriver.
See if I can get it started.
Alright, I got 2 of them in. The next 2 should be lined up already, since I already got 2 of them in. Got 3 in now. 1 more to go and my circuit board will be complete.
So sweet.
Make sure they're snug. You don't want to over tighten them or leave them too loose. So there it is. That's the circuit board.
Frankie Finger Deck.
So now I'm going to go ahead and set up the regular fingerboard with the extra back truck. I guess I'll go ahead and put the wheels on the truck first. That way they're on and ready to go. Pick up one of these little wheel nuts here, put it in my socket wrench.
There we go.
I like this tool. It's pretty weird. You get a good grip on it with the flat edges. It's cool having a different tool than the normal yellow Tech tools.
So yeah.
It is what it is.
Put my second wheel on my back truck here. It's going together
Pretty easy.
Now my back truck has the wheels on it and it's ready to be mounted on the fingerboard deck. I'm putting a screw on the screwdriver again, starting it in the hole. I'm going to set it up just how I did the other one screw at a time. That seems to be the easiest. And you guys know this, I'm sure already, but anytime you're putting a truck on a fingerboard, or skateboard for that matter, you always want the kingpin towards the inside of the deck.
Kingpin in.
Kingpin in.
So always remember that.
Alright, I got one screw started, I think. See if I can get the second screw started in the truck here. I got 2 screws in. Now I'm going to put the third in.
Pretty boring.
And last but not least, the fourth and final screw. Then I'll have my back truck mounted on my regular fingerboard. Alright, I got them snug, not super tight, and not loose. Awesome, so we have both boards put together. They went together really easily, as you guys saw, but some of the parts are very, very tiny. Now, just like the box says, this set is for ages 8 and up.
So I luckily just made it.
But the reason I'm saying this is, if you're younger than 8, you'll definitely want a grown-up to help you put these together because the parts are super duper tiny. But if you can take apart a tech deck and put it back together, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to put these together because it's basically the same thing. It is kind of hard to find the holes in the power axle because it's not like a regular truck where you can see through it. The power axle you cannot. So it is tricky getting the first hole lined up, but once you get 2 screws in, they're basically lined up.
So it is what it is.
Alright, so we have 2 completes here. I'm going to go ahead and check out the regular fingerboard first, then we'll check out the circuit board.
Yay!
Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to notice is that the orange wheels match the orange plastic deck. You can definitely tell a Hexbug circuit board from a tech deck, so that's pretty cool. You can see here the clear orange plastic of the deck shines through. Very, very nice. Clear orange wheels.
Gives it a steezy look.
For sure.
Also, as you can see there, this deck is super duper thin, but surprisingly rigid. It's not that easy to bend. You can bend it, but not as bendy as you would think for being super thin. So that's very, very cool. I'm digging it. Next, as you can see, this shape is pretty much off the hook.
That's right.
I like higher kicks, but these aren't bad. I would call these medium kicks and medium concave. It's got a really good feel overall. It does come with regular skateboard style grip, which feels really gritty. Not super big grit like sandpaper, but it definitely grabs your fingers. But as a bonus, the grip does feature a circuit board graphic, which is really neat.
Circuit board.
Sweet.
Alright, the bottom of the deck is really smooth. It basically looks and feels just like the bottom of a tech deck, so nothing strange going on there. The trucks are very similar to the standard width tech deck trucks. They're not wide, they're definitely standard width. Alright, so the only weird thing that I've noticed so far is that the front truck that came installed on this deck has super soft orange bushings. Super duper soft. You can see right there. Super soft, but then the extra back truck that they included had pre-installed white bushings and they're super tough. That's right, you can barely lean on them. They're just super stiff, so that's kind of weird. But remember the little compartment in the plastic tray has the 2 extra white bushings. They're right over here now. So altogether with the front truck of the circuit board, which has 2 orange bushings, the 2 extra white bushings, and the set of orange and set of white on the regular fingerboard, there are 4 bushings of each color in total. So if you like soft, you can take the orange bushings out of the circuit board and exchange them with the white bushings out of your back truck. Or if you like your trucks a little tighter, you can use all white ones. So there are enough to use all orange or all white, so it's not really a big deal. You just have to mix and match and find whatever is best for you and put them in there.
So it is what it is.
For me personally, I like my trucks to be able to turn, so I'm going to go ahead and take my white bushings out of my back truck, take the orange bushings out of the front of the circuit board, and exchange them. So
let's do it.
I'm just going to take the kingpin nut off of the kingpin. Should be pretty easy, just like taking apart a tech deck truck. Make sure you don't lose your little kingpin nut. Let me try and get this off of there. Alright, now I need to get the orange bushings out of my circuit board, so I'm going to take it apart the same way. Oh, and I lost it.
Make sure you don't lose your little kingpin nut. Oh, and I lost it. It's gone.
Alright, so now I'm putting the white bushings back in the circuit board. Hopefully it doesn't make a big difference on the remote controlled circuit board. I'm thinking it won't.
Now I need to try and get this little kingpin nut back on there. Oh, it's so tricky.
Oh, I'm covering it so you can't see.
There we go.
Sorry if you guys can't see it very good. I'm trying to hold it and do everything where you can see it, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. Alright, so as you can see there, I took the white bushings out of the back truck of my regular fingerboard and put them in the front of the circuit board. The next thing I need to do is just put these orange soft bushings into the back truck of my regular fingerboard.
But first, I have to find the kingpin nut that I lost.
Alright, so I looked all around and I could not find the kingpin nut. They are tiny, as you can see here. This is one here that I had from a tech deck, and luckily it's the exact same size. So that's a good thing. If you do lose the kingpin nut, like
I did.
you don't want to do that, but if you do, any tech deck kingpin nut or wheel nut,
As you know, they're the same.
will fit on the circuit board kingpin and wheel nuts. So it fits on both, which is really, really cool, and it saves the day for me. Now I need to put my back truck together with the orange bushings, and then we'll be home free.
Can't believe I did that. Jeez.
I'm usually pretty good about not losing those things, but
You know, right when I'm feeling cocky, that's when I lose it.
so.
It is what it is.
And it was shiny chrome too, just super shiny chromish. And now this one's got a gold look to it, but whatever. Alright, so as you can see here, I have both trucks with these super soft orange bushings in my regular fingerboard now. And I've got super duper turnability, which might even be too much. Wow.
No, it's not too much.
Pretty good, actually. Another thing I was just thinking is if you wanted to mess with it and really test things out, remember you have 4 of each color bushing, and I was thinking about maybe a white bushing on the bottom with an orange bushing on top and mix and matching them so you got one bushing that's tough and one that's soft on each truck, which might give you more of a medium stiffness in your leaning. So I might try that too. I might mix and match them, but for now, the super soft orange bushings are good for my regular fingerboard. I'll try them and let you guys know what I end up with, but this is the setup that I'm going with for now.
It is what it is.
Alright, so overall, for a regular fingerboard, this thing is really, really cool. I like the shape of it. It's got a really good feel overall. Like I said, the concave and the kicks just go together really. I can nollie flip it right off the bat, which is a good sign. So if you can nollie flip a fingerboard straight out of the package,
That's a good thing.
but the only thing I might possibly do to make this even a little bit better for me is switch out the grip tape for some foam style grip.
Such as FSS grippy tape.
I'm not really a big fan of the skateboard style grip, but it's not bad. As you can see, I can still nollie flip.
That's a good thing.
Alright guys, that's enough about the regular fingerboard. Let's get into the circuit board, the reason we're all here. Alright guys, so here it is, the Hexbug Tony Hawk circuit board. Now, first things first, the deck, the front truck, the front wheels, the front bushings. They are all the exact same as the regular fingerboard. The only thing that's different on this board is, obviously, the power axle, which mounted just like a regular truck, so it was super easy to set up. There was nothing weird going on, so you don't have to worry much if you want to switch decks because it is super duper easy. So if you get a circuit board, you're definitely going to want to go out and get some more interchangeable decks and swap them out all the time because it is just that easy. Alright, there is one thing I wanted to talk about before we start to operate this thing. I wanted to point this out. This whole setup, meaning the circuit board and the remote control here, this whole setup runs off 5 watch style batteries. There's 2 in the remote and 3 in the power axle itself. Now, these are LR44 batteries, and you can buy a 6-pack of these batteries in an official Hexbug Tony Hawk circuit board pack. I saw them in the Toys R Us eBay store, and they were $4.99 for a 6-pack, plus $4.99 shipping, so they want $10 for 6 batteries. Now, I'm not sure why it's a 6-pack, since there's 2 in here, 3 in here, 5 for the complete set, so why they would sell them in a 6-pack?
I don't know.
But I guess it's cool to have an extra battery. But $10 shipped seemed a little crazy to me. However, I did search eBay for regular generic LR44 batteries and found a 10-pack for only $1.79 with free shipping. So under $2, you get 10 of these batteries shipped to your house, and that's enough for the entire set twice. So it's a very good deal. But I just wanted to let you know that these are not normal batteries. Most likely you can get them at Walmart and places like that, but these are not like AA batteries, which you can go to any gas station or store and get. These are weird watch style batteries, and depending on how long they last, it can get really annoying. If this only lasts a couple days, if you're using it a lot, you're probably not going to want to burn through these batteries. So it's something to keep in mind. They are not regular batteries. They are watch style batteries.
It is what it is.
Alright, let's check out the controls. Alright guys, on this paper that you saw earlier that I took out of the box, it does list right here the basic controls, and I'm going to go over them with you with a custom drawing. Alright, so this is your basic remote controller. Pretty good drawing, right? It has two main up and down paddle type buttons, as you can see, and at the bottom a sliding knob. So according to the paper that I found, you push up on both buttons to go forward. Seems pretty obvious. Then to go backwards, you push down on both buttons. Pretty obvious. Now to turn left, you push up on the right button. What? And to go right, you push up on the left button. Now I can see how that could be confusing at first, but it's set up so that each button operates its own wheel. So it makes a little more sense if you think about it in that way. But it is what it is. Okay. The slider knob at the bottom, that's your speed control. So all the way to the left is normal speed, and all the way to the right is turbo speed. So those are the basic controls. I'm gonna try it. Alright guys, I'm gonna try and go forward by pushing both buttons upward. Sweet. Now backwards by pushing both buttons down. Sweet. Now I'm gonna try and turn right by pushing the left button up. Sweet. Now I'll try and turn left by pushing the right button up. Sweet. Alright, so the controls work. Let me go sesh this thing for a few minutes, and I'll let you know what I think. Alright guys, so after trying it for a little bit, it is pretty cool. Now don't worry, because I am going to show you some clips of me using it on a fingerboard park. As you know, I have some cool obstacles. I tried it on a bank, quarter pipe, spine ramp, and some other things, which you will see, so don't worry, we are going to have a sesh at the end of this video. But right now I wanted to talk about how it worked for me. Now, when I first tried it in this room on this bench, it started to cut out on me. Now, the reason for this, I believe, is it works on some sort of infrared beamoscope. And with my lights in here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big lights going. That's what interfered, because when I went in the other room with normal room light on the fingerboard park, it worked great. I could stand on the opposite side of the room as the fingerboard park and still control it. The reaction time is right on point. You hit the buttons and it goes. And the normal speed versus turbo speed, there is a really big difference, which I will show you
Right now.
This is normal speed.
Normal speed.
Alright, so pretty quick still, and this is turbo speed.
Turbo speed. Normal. Turbo.
Right on. Could you see a difference?
Yes, you could.
Alright, it does take some getting used to. Say you want to ride up a quarter pipe and turn around. With the push up on the right button to turn left and push up on the left button to turn right, it is a bit confusing at first, but I started to get the hang of it. And soon, I was riding up a quarter pipe, turning around, and coming back down. So it didn't take me that long to start to get good at it, and it actually worked as it should. So I was really impressed. I even set up a few things and had a slalom test, and this is how it went. So, as you can see, it's not bad. It actually works as it should. Yes, it is kind of big and dorky on the bottom, but it's remote controlled. How small could it be on a fingerboard-sized object? You know what I mean? It's not like a great big remote controlled car where they can hide the motors inside of it and you can't see them. This is a tiny fingerboard, and I think they did a really good job. It actually works as they said it would, so I'm impressed. I would definitely recommend it. It's very fun to use. One thing I did want to try was the distance, but once I stood across the other side of the room and was still controlling it, I figured that's far enough for me. You're not going to be using this at a super far distance. That's just crazy. How far away are you going to be from the circuit board to where you still want to try and run it? So I wasn't really worried about the distance test, but it did work at least 10-15 feet, so that's good enough, I figure. Now, a couple things which I didn't mention earlier, which I had to find out in order to use it. To turn this thing on, you roll it forward. On. That turns it on, and to turn it off, off. You roll it backwards, just that easy. But the cool thing about this, and especially with the weird watch style batteries, if you forget to turn this off manually, it shuts off automatically after 2 minutes of not using it to help save battery life. So that is very, very cool. I'm glad they did that. With these weird batteries, if you forgot to turn it off and they ran down, that would just be a bummer. So that's very cool. You can turn it off if you want, but if not, after 2 minutes, it shuts off on its own, so that's very cool. And remember, forward is on, backward is off, and it will roll by itself just to let you know that it worked. On, off. So there you have it. Forward, on, backward, off. Alright guys, another thing that I need to mention, which is very important, especially if you're thinking about getting a circuit board, you definitely want to pay attention here. If you notice on the box right over here, it says 2 channels available.
2 channels.
Now, that does not mean that you can switch your circuit board controller between 2 channels.
No, not at all.
That just means your circuit board remote has either one of 2 channels. That's right. So every circuit board in the world has either channel 1 or channel 2.
Those are the 2 channels that are available.
That means you can run 2 circuit boards in a sesh at the same time, but they have to be opposite each other. You can only run a channel 1 with a channel 2 and vice versa. You cannot have a sesh with 2 channel 1 circuit boards in the same area or they will interfere with each other. Now, this is something they don't really advertise that much. It does say 2 channels available, but by looking at this box, you can look at up and down, sideways, front and back, and you will not know what channel your circuit board is. That's right. The only way you can tell is looking through this window at your remote and looking right here where it says, and it's kind of hard to see because it's in white writing, it says the channel number. Mine's channel 1. So this is very important. If you are thinking about getting a circuit board and you know for sure you have a homie who's going to get one too, and you guys at some time are going to try and sesh at the same time, do not order a circuit board online because they could send you either one of the channels and you will not know which one it is. So you'll definitely want to go in the store, check which channel it is, and get either 1 or 2 depending on which one your homie has. And if you get your circuit board before him, let him know, look, I got channel 1, or if it's channel 2, I got channel 2. That way your homie knows to look for the opposite channel. That way you can sesh at the same time.
So yeah.
Definitely important.
Okay, so what do I think overall? I think they're really cool. Do I like circuit boarding more than fingerboarding?
Of course not.
But is this something fun to mess with in between fingerboard sessions?
Yes.
I would say definitely. So I definitely recommend the circuit board to you guys. It is fun. It actually works as they said it does. It's kind of confusing to learn the turns at first, but other than that, it's really, really cool. Now, this complete set was $19.99 online at Toys R Us's eBay store. Now, the $19.99 with tax and shipping came to just over $27 shipped. So if you can visit a store and buy it for $19.99 and you don't have to pay for shipping, obviously that's the better way to go. But was this set worth $27 shipped to me?
I think so.
And the reason why is I got the circuit board, a complete fingerboard which is off the hook, a cool tool, and the extra bushings for under $30. And nowadays, as I'm sure you guys know, you can spend well over $100 on one fingerboard. So $27 for 2.
And one of them is remote control.
Get out of here.
Not bad at all. Now, one more thing to be aware of if you're shopping for a circuit board and you're looking at the sets, especially online, and you see one for less than $20, make sure it comes with the power axle. That's this part right here, because when I was online, I saw a circuit board for $4.99 and I was like, Turns out it was just an extra deck with the front truck that you can put your power axle on. It was an interchangeable deck. So you have to find the set that comes with the power axle and the remote to have a complete remote controlled circuit board. So remember that. If it doesn't come with a power axle,
it is not the complete set.
Alright then homies, my voice is totally gone. Let me know what you think about the Tony Hawk circuit boards and if I should review a circuit board ramp.
Which one?
Now I'm going to try a few tricks on both of the boards for you. I'm not a professional, so take it easy on me. Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure you check out all my reviews and weird videos right here on FSS. And I'll see you homies sooner than later.
Frankie Finger Decks.
wasn't planning on doing a little update like this, but on that last trick, you just heard the board hit the floor in a very powerful way. That's right. It went kaboom! Because I hit the wrong control. I mean to roll backwards, I go forward straight onto the floor.
Kabash.
I'll play it again so you can see. What I was trying to do is roll backwards, and for some reason I pushed forward, so it went straight off the table. Crash. You can hear it really good. Now, the reason I'm making this update is because that was probably the 5th time that the circuit board has flew off the table and crashed onto the floor, and a couple of times it crashed so hard that I figured it was done. There was no way it could work again. I thought something would be cracked, broke, something, but no, it's still going. So yeah, this thing has taken a licking and it keeps on ticking. So I'm definitely going to keep practicing with the circuit board and hopefully post a separate circuit board sesh sometime soon so you guys can see where I'm at with it and how it's holding up. Also, real quick here, on my regular fingerboard, I did figure out the bushings. I have them at a good medium lean factor, and what I did is put the super soft orange bushing on the bottom of each truck and a super hard white bushing on the top of each truck. I told you I would update you, and I did. This is where it seems to work the best for me. It's not too tight and it's not too loose, just perfect. Like I said, one orange and one white. Orange on the bottom, white on top for your bushings.
It is what it is.
Be on the lookout for my circuit board updates. So yeah, it's pretty much off the hook. Yes, you can't do all the tricks that a fingerboard can do, but it's not a fingerboard.
So it is what it is.
Later!